What's going on, everybody? Trader Kaz here. Today was the Ethereum merge. The market didn't love it too much, so we will dive right into this real quick though. Shout out to Bybit, sponsors of these videos. If you guys want to support the channel, you can sign up with the link below. Also, let's try and make the push to 10,000 subs. I think we're at like 8,800 or something like that. So if you guys enjoy these videos and you're not subscribed yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into the content. So the main levels that I'm watching on Bitcoin are last month's low right here, the low of August at 19.5. We bounced from this level nicely. The monthly open is also a key level that we're keeping an eye on, September open. And then if we turn this into a line chart, you can kind of see how clean this downtrend right here has been. So I think the bullish setup, right here, I have no bias, right? This could go like this could go like this. I would not be shocked in either direction. I don't feel like I have an edge with which way this is gonna break. And so right now I'm just sitting on my hands, hanging out, recording a video, sharing the plans with you guys. If we break below last month's low, things are going to be looking pretty ugly. And I know we don't like trade based off of a monthly candle because they can change, but this is going to be looking like it's kind of in free fall mode, right? If we break down further, because you can see, now this will bring all the other levels up, but right here has been some very obvious support that has held for 3 months, and actually like losing that level would be an issue. So we want to stay above 19.5 if possible, but it doesn't shock me that this whole move basically retraced, right? Because we've had a lot of thin moves that where those inefficiencies get filled. So if we zoom out, here's a super thin move. That move got filled with this. Here's a super thin move, and we came up to here, filling that. Thin move, thin move. This one was filled quicker. This one was filled when we pumped up here. Now we have this thin move, and this one. This one just got filled. But if we think that continues, which like I do think markets tend to fill inefficiencies, doesn't have to be immediately, then I think like 22K is not a bad target, or even like around here, 21.5 for a long. So, but I mean, that could happen a lot later down the line, right? Like we could break down, trade down here for a while, and then like in November come back up. Who knows? But it gives you a target, right? So if the bullish scenario plays out, we want to see Bitcoin make a nice impulsive move, break out from this downtrend, break above the monthly open. That would be 2 signs in our favor. It had filled this efficiency, tested the origin of this, another bullish sign in our favor, and a lot of that lines up for if we get something like this. I really like that as a long scenario up to 21.5, 22K, somewhere in here is where I'd be looking to take profit. We'd want to stop at the low. This would be a solid 2.5 to 3 hour trade, right? Like TP1, I guess, is 2.5. If we go all the way to this level, it's 3.2. I think that's the most clear setup right now on Bitcoin. If we break down, I will look for some short setups, but you got to be careful with it, right? Because if this comes to break down and you're like, oh, this is super bearish, we broke down, and then it gets back above this level and then eventually breaks back above here and then the monthly open, you could have kind of shorted the bottom. So got to keep an eye on if this does break down, if it's just like a quick move below the level and then reclaims it, or what's happening. But I think the cleaner setup with the more clear invalidation would definitely be the long if we're able to flip 20K. So I think that's the most important thing to watch on Bitcoin. Ethereum obviously took a pretty massive hit. We had this super clear trend line that we were sitting on since the end of August, and it might even line. I mean, this probably depends on the exchange. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. That one's more discretionary, but this one looks pretty obvious to me. If you use the wicks or if you use the candle bodies, that actually might be even cleaner. Sometimes I like to flip to a line chart. Oh my goodness. You can see it really just hugged this and then fell off a cliff. Yikes. So either way, however you draw it, if you're using the wicks or the candle bodies, we broke down. And if, similar to Bitcoin, if Ethereum is able to get back above the monthly open, I think that would be a bullish sign, right? The problem is it's a little further away, and the risk to reward of that setup is a bit worse, right? Because you'd be targeting like here, maybe up here, which is like 1.4 versus what we're getting on Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin looks a bit more clean, but we're still going to keep an eye on this anyway. The merge, everyone kind of knew it was going to be a sell the news event. Some people executed on that. Some people just watched it play out. But when you think about things big picture, the merge is definitely bullish. Like, I don't think you can really argue that. It makes Ethereum cheaper, more efficient. It improves Ethereum from a fundamental standpoint. But that doesn't mean that, like, it's still going to trade like any other market. One thing making this more fundamentally bullish doesn't just make it go straight up in a straight line or back up in a straight line. But I do think over time, like, this is another bullish thing on Ethereum's resume. So just a little hard to trade events like that sometimes, right? Because everyone knows it's happening. Everyone knows it should be bullish. But right when it happens, it's kind of a sell the news type event. But with that being said, as of right now, Bitcoin looks like the more clear trade. Adam has had a really strong day, and this chart has just been beautiful. Like, we are just plugging along. We had an SR level drawn around here a while back. Do I have it hidden, or is it? My charts got cleared at one point, but whatever. Looking really strong. I think 21 is the obvious target of resistance. Like, pretty clear floor throughout this level. Consolidated there for a little. Retest. Bang. Expect that to act as resistance. Sol. Trading within this range. Had a nice sweep of the low. Took out the high. Kind of just chopping around. I don't really have a trade set up for this, but keeping an eye on it. I mean, if the market does end up being bullish, right? If this scenario plays out, then I think we try to trade Monday's range or see if we can get back within it. So if this does come back up, if we can get within Monday's range, I think you can long it, probably targeting around 37. I would like to see some more price action play out, because just from there, if you use that as your invalidation, it's a little tricky. But if we form some lower time frame range around here, like if it comes up here, right, chopping around, takes out this low, and we get a new invalidation like that, then we can try and take something like this, and that would be a more desirable setup for me. So no setup here really right now to watch out for. I just need to see some more price action develop. So equities look pretty rough here. Why are my charts getting cleared? That's so weird. We had a level up here marking these highs and this inefficiency, this gap, whatever you want to call it. Then we had this daily supply marked. Both worked out really well. Now we're kind of coming into the origin of this move, right? I would probably mark this as the daily demand, because that was the last bit of selling before we broke out with this move. So, I mean, equities are coming into support. However, if we lose this level, I just think it keeps going down. So right now, I'm not betting on, I have no money riding on what the market's going to do from here directly. But during these times, we want to plan for some scenarios. So I think the clearest, highest conviction play for me this week, I mean, I guess it is already Thursday, but would be if we can flip 20K, that's a nice long. And we can use this to time it up with other stuff, right? So if Bitcoin does this and looks like it's going to make a 10%, 8% push, then we can take a look at Ethereum, AVAX, Sol, Atom, whatever else you want to trade, and try and time those together, because the alts could move a little more. So that'll do it for today's video. Once again, shout out to Bybit. I got some links in the description if you want to check them out. The top one is my referral link, and if you deposit 1,000 USDT, then you can claim a 1,000 USDT bonus that you can trade with. So that's their promotion they got going on, and I will keep you guys posted on Twitter if I enter any of these trades, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.